and welcome to the Inspiration in 30. My name is Gloria Ward, and I'm the founder of the I'm Loving Me Project. And guess what? Today is our birthday. It is our anniversary. We turned 3 years old today, guys. 3 years old. And I am so super happy and excited and everything because it has been a wonderful journey for the last 3 years. I mean, we have evolved so much. We have interviewed so many women. We have told so many of your stories. We have had a lot of our workshops, and we have done so much stuff where I am super excited. So we're trying to put something together really quick so that everybody, can celebrate with everyone. Um, Hopefully we'll have something pretty soon that we can do. But I mean, I am just like overjoyed and super happy just to know that we are, turning our point where we are 3 years old. We've been doing this. We've been putting our work in. We have been making sure that we connect with you. And now we just get to celebrate. We are still here, and we have so much in store, so far to go, so much to do. So I thank all of you guys who come every morning, who come to the workshops, who, participate in the events that we have. Since we've been in this COVID season, we have been blessed. We are still happy, and we are still here. So, hey, Rachel. So I am happy. We made it 3 years, and we're not going to stop. Okay. What you can expect from us as we move along is that we are going to grow. Now that we have built our foundation, where we have put our staple in the marketplace, where we are able to tell our stories and to be transparent, we're going to take it up a little higher, where now we get to offer you the coaching, we get to offer you the business courses, we get to offer you the information so you can take your life to the next level. So we are not just talking, but we are doing and taking action and moving forward. Because one of the things that I said is I do not want to be one of those um, companies and organizations that just come around and they tell you all this good news and give you all this information, and then one, their life is not reflecting what they're talking about, right? And then two, you're always in a position where you're going around and around and around in some loop where you're not actually getting you're not actually making progress, right? Hey, Vanessa. So that was the reason why, another reason why I started the project, because it was very hard for me to look at different coaches and be a part of different organizations where it was always a limit to what they can teach you and what they could bring to the table. And it was always this, you are here and they are here, and they are there, and you never get to interact and meet to have intimate conversations to say, hey, how did you get to where you are, and what are some of the things that you do? They tell you good stories, right? And they tell you how they overcame and went from one thing to the other. But at the same time, the how you have to figure out by yourself, or the how you will have to run here and do this and do that, or the how, where I said, you know what, let me go ahead and create my own thing where I'm able to be as transparent as I can, be myself, get good people around me, and help women like myself take our lives to the next level. And so that's what the I'm Loving Me Project is about. And I thank you. I thank you guys for being here. I thank you guys for sticking with us. We're just going to have a celebration and we're going to party all day long. Like, I love it. The other thing that I wanted to say is starting next month next month is here in November, We are going to start our Students Without Mothers fundraiser. That is the organization that we belong to, where we help students who moms uh, passed away or to death or incarceration go ahead and send them to college. We help them go to college. We give them $1,000 every year for 4 years while they're in school to do those things that their mom would do for them if their mom was here. So our goal this year is to raise at least $7,000. That's why we're going to do it for 2 months. And we are going to, see what we can do. But that is the organization that the I'm Loving Me Project is a part of. That is the organization that we have adopted because I was a student without a mother, right? Like you guys know my story. So I know what these kids are going through. And with COVID season and them being home and they're going to college for the first time, they need stuff, laptops and all this kind of stuff. But they also get grief counseling and everything. But we'll talk about that once November comes. But what I want to talk about today is something that I was studying for the last couple of days, because yesterday I went through this thing where I was like, I didn't get on because I was like kind of in my zone, but also I had 2 interviews, so I didn't want to come on in the morning and twice at night. But one of the things that I was in a zone with is understanding how much we have to be able to protect our peace, and also how we have to know where to draw the line in the sand, right? And of course, yesterday I was sitting there and I was just doing, my daily thing. I do my inspiration in 30 before I get to you guys, right? And one of the things that kept coming up for me was this whole thing of, Gloria, you got to be able to raise your vibration. You got to be able to control your feelings a little bit more, right? You have to be able to understand and know that when people press upon things on you, that they are only pressing upon things that they believe, their thoughts, their values, and their things that they would want to see, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to listen to them. I was at work, and one of the ladies was like, Gloria, and remember, it's real subtle, right? Subtle. The girl was like, Gloria, oh my God, you have such great hair. And I was like, oh, thank you, but it always looks dry. You know what? You have to put some stuff in it. And I was like, okay, well, what stuff do you use, right? Because I do use like this little polish in my hair, but it does dry my hair out at the end of the day. You go to the beauty supply store and you get the little polish. And so she says, and another thing, your hair is so over processed and you have some good hair, but you just got to learn how to take care of it. I'm like, well, I go to the hairdresser every week. So I think she's doing a good job. No, she's not. You know what you have to do? You have to go to my hairdresser. My hairdresser will be able to take care of your hair, where she will be able to do some things for you. And you know what? I had some clothes in my cart when I went to the store. You have to be able to have a new wardrobe because of the things that you're doing right now. You should be able to, have a new wardrobe and new shoes and make sure that you have everything that you need. And so I was just sitting there saying to myself, okay, I'm listening to her. It's coming from a loving place, right? Because she believes, she said with her comment before she told me, we friends, right? And I said, yeah. So she said, as friends, we can talk. I said, yeah, absolutely. Then she goes into that whole story. So I'm listening to her and I said to myself, if I was a different kind of person who wasn't working on themselves, how would I feel about what she's telling me? Right? And I would say I would probably have, right, Thank you very much, Vanessa. You are right on point, right? I said, I will probably have, hey, Aquila, these emotions that come up that probably would tell me I'm not good enough. Because that's basically what you're telling me. What you see, you don't like. And you believe that I can be better, right? And the only way I can be better is that if you do it. Now, I'm younger, she's older, she's a mom, so she probably believes that she's helping me, right? And so I sat there and I listened to her. And then she says, don't you agree with everything I'm saying? Don't you think that you need help? And that is where I had to draw the line. And I said, no. I said, I want to tell you something. I said, I appreciate everything that you are telling me. And in some instances, I will probably take your advice. Like the hair polish, I probably need a new one, right? And I probably can use a couple of things because I don't shop, right? I'd rather take my money and do something else with it. I said, well, where I draw the line is how, you are telling me that the only way in which I can approve is based on your thoughts and your feelings, Helen, of how you think I should be. She said, no, 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 that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I said, that's what I'm hearing, because you are telling me that the only way that I will look good is if I go to your hairdresser, if you buy me clothes, if you do this for me, because you don't approve of who I am. She said, it's not that, Gloria. It's just that I think you can do better. Well, what if this is my best? And she said, no, this is not your best. This is not, how you're supposed to be. And I said, how do you know that? You are not me. And just like that, she thought about it, because we do it all the time, right? Where we project our thoughts, our feelings, our way of life on other people, and we expect them to go ahead and follow it. Where at some point we got to draw the line and say, hey, you know what? I am happy the way I am. You might not like it, but it works for me, right? You might not enjoy or like the way I look, the way I dress, how I wear my hair, what I do at work or whatever. But that's your feelings and your thoughts. You take those and you go mumble elsewhere, right? Now, if you want to tell me what you think I should do and everything, at that point in time, and that's why we have to draw a line in the sand. We have to be cognizant and know who we are, so that we can understand that those things that people tell us, we take heed to those things that we think will be beneficial, and then we throw the other stuff away, but not get our feelings hurt because of what people are saying, right? So she said, well, I hope you're not offended. I said, no, I'm not offended, because I know who I am, and I know what makes me comfortable, and I know what makes me happy. Just because you don't like it, it doesn't mean that it's a problem, right? Just because you or someone else feel like this is not the right thing to do doesn't mean that it's not right for me. It works for me in my body, in who I am, and it keeps me focused, right? I said, I don't want to think about another thing. If I got 15 things on my plate, I don't want to think about another thing like what I'm gonna wear and get the clothes out the next day and all that stuff. That is freedom to me. The reason why you have to think and do all that stuff is because you have to come into an environment where all of that is written out for you in a procedure of how you're supposed to look when you come. But guess what? A person like me who is in your environment gets to choose. And I get to choose because I decided to take my freedom and do what it is that I want to do, right? What makes me happy. And because I'm allowed to do that, it does not affect anything that is going around in this environment. But I'm not going to change myself and who I am to make you feel good. I'm not going to sit up here and try to become something I'm not just because you think I should. Right? And so she was like, no, you missing the whole thing. I was like, if you think so, then okay. Because we're not going to argue. Because the people who love us, right? And she's a great person. The people who love us and the people who believe that they are helping us, right? Throw their ideas, their beliefs, and everything on us and believe we should take it in. Well, we got to draw a line, right? We have to be able to draw a line and know who we are and allow them to say what they're going to say. But we take what's useful, we throw the rest out, and we continue on with our day without any judgments, without feeling bad or anything like that. Right? Think about it. How many times have someone told you or you told someone that they should act, do, or be a certain way? And you got upset just because they're not doing what you think they should do. That could be your kids, that could be your mama, it could be anybody. And then think of the reverse. How many people are telling you that you should be, act, do, or have all these things, right? And you're saying to yourself, well, you know, I have a choice to be me, or I can go ahead and do what these people are telling me to do. What happens if you don't know who you are? What is that thing in the Bible, y'all? The double-minded man, what is it? The double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, right? The double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Now, when we think about that, when you don't know who you are, you allow the opinions of everyone else to control your environment. Think about that. What if I didn't know or have been working on myself and I went out and ran out and did everything that she said because she convinced me that she was right, that I had a problem? I had a problem because I did not satisfy her needs as to what she thought I should look like. Doesn't society do that to us? They say, well, you know what, Aquila, you ain't smart enough. You need to go back and get XYZ. And then once you go back and get that XYZ certification and all that stuff or whatever, when you come back, you still have to take an exam. And once you take that exam, you still have to do this, because what we looking for is people with all these qualifications, and you ain't smart enough unless you go ahead and you have all that. And you say, well, I'm comfortable with where I am right now. I know I can always grow. But the requirements that you asked for, I fulfilled. So I know I can do the job, and anything else I can learn, but you still telling me that's not good enough, right? Society does that to us, y'all. Society always tell you you're not good enough, you're not skinny enough, you know, you're not smart enough, You have to be able to, you're not wealthy enough, you're not this, you're not that. And we strive and we move and we work and we go into exhaustion and we get sick trying to please other people, trying to please society, right? But then at the same time, what the hell is society doing to us? They only giving us just enough so that we can feel like we have something, but still dependent. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying, right? A good example is when you want to go and buy a house, right? You want to go buy a house. The first thing that you say to yourself is, if I want to go buy a house, I got to go fix my credit, because society says you can't buy a house unless you got good credit, right? Then the next thing you say, well, got my credit straight. Now I can go buy a house. Well, I got to go to a bank to go ahead and get the money for the house. So now society says, oh, well, you got to come to this bank. And when you come to this bank, you got to have all these requirements, right? So then you say, okay, well, I got all the requirements. I come to the bank, I get the money for the loan, and now you are indebted to that person or that bank for the next 30 years, where you're going to pay 3 times as more for the house. And now you got what you want, but just enough to keep you around for the next 30 years, because that's what society says. If you want to be able to have something that you want, right? You have to follow our rules, our way of getting it. And if you think of something outside the box, or be you, or try something else, then that's considered outside of the norm. And now we got to watch you. Now we need to look into your finances, because you're trying to cheat the system. You found another way to get around it. So no, we don't want that. What we want is our ways and our values and our stuff to be put on you, so that we can get what we want. And that's the satisfaction in knowing that what we say and what we do is right. You get it? You get what I'm saying? You get a car, you're going to have to get a car note, right? If you have the money to pay cash for a car, oh man, now you have the power to negotiate and do all this stuff. And they want to sell you all this stuff just to go ahead and see if they can get you a loan for insurance and everything. And they try to stick you and put their ways and their values and everything on you. I was reading this thing the other day, y'all. I was reading this thing the other day, yesterday, where they were saying how, a lot of the stores that we like and go to, a lot of the luxury stores, they make it tough for us to go ahead and buy things, because they don't put those kind of stores in the neighborhood. Like if you here in Atlanta, like the Whole Foods is only in certain areas, right? People who can afford a Whole Foods, right? So what happens is, if you want to go ahead and buy quality food, and it's not in your neighborhood, what you got to do is you got to go to another neighborhood, spend more gas, which goes to the oil companies, right? Pay more money to go ahead and get quality food, and spend the gas to go back, right? At some point in our lives, ladies, we have to understand that people's values, what society thinks of us, and how they perceive us We have to be able to draw the line and know and be secure in who we are. Because if not, they will have us like a little rag doll just running around everywhere and we would not even know it. Because again, it happens so subtle where you know what happens if I put some clothes on, because usually I just wear like some jeans and a shirt. But if I put some clothes on because I have an interview or something and I go in, everybody is like, oh my God, you must have a date. Oh my God, you are dressed up today. And I'm like, yeah, I got something to do. Right. And I'm excited about it. But um, I would hear little things like, oh, is this going to be every day or is this just today? You know, it must be something special where you actually put clothes on. And I just say to myself, wow, the things people say that they just don't know how it will affect you, right? The things people do where they just don't know how it will affect you. The things that we personally say and do to people that we just don't know how it will affect them, right? But if you don't draw that line in the sand and you don't know who you are, you're going to get sucked in, right? I tell them every day, what you see when I walk in, however it is, what you see is freedom, honey. You see freedom. I am able to look, to dress, to walk, to do anything that I want to do in this entire building and still get paid good money for it. I don't have to follow any rules. I don't have to do anything because I paid the price for my freedom. And if you believe that I am going to allow you to sit and project your thoughts and feelings on me, then you must not know who I really am, because you should be asking me, how were you able to come in here and just do what you want? Right? How are you able to go to that car lot and buy what you want? How are you able to go and buy that house you want? How are you able to live the life you want? Because I drew the line in the sand and I said to myself, you know what? The most important person is me, and how I live my life and what I do with my life and how I go ahead and project myself out into the world. The only thing I'm worried about is if it makes me happy. I'm not worrying about what you think and what you care about and how I'm going to live my life. These bills got my name on it, not yours. You know what I'm saying? Everything, and that's what I had to tell her. Everything you telling me requires me to go ahead and spend more money. Why would I want to do that? And I'm very content with what I have, where it'll sit in the closet anyway. What I'm going to do? Sit there and look at it because you told me it's the best thing to do? No, no, that doesn't make me happy, right? So know and understand and remember, even when you're going throughout your day, even when you are the person who is trying to project your thoughts and feelings on someone, understand when you are talking to someone, you say, hey, I understand that this is you and this is great. Are you happy? Because they never ask that. Are you happy in your life? Is this who you really are? Do you enjoy the way you are? And if so, you celebrate them. Wow, I am so happy for you. How did that happen where you are actually content with who you are? You don't badger them with your thoughts and feelings and how they think you should be. You celebrate who they are, because they are more likely to take in new information than you trying to oppress upon them those things that you think they should have. And it's the reverse. When people come to you and they say, hey, Vanessa, Rachel, Aquila, Lynn, you have to be XYZ person. You can't do this, you can't do that. It's like, whoa, am I supposed to lose myself in order to go ahead and make you happy? Now I have to figure out what's important to me, right? Now I have to figure out what works for me. Because I promise you, there is nothing like freedom, y'all. Freedom to speak, do, and have anything you want. Right? So that's my message for today. I'm not going to go deep into it, because I'm going to go and I'm going to celebrate and I'm going to hang out. Today is our birthday. We are 3 years old today. It was 3 years ago today that God gave me the dream to go ahead and start the I'm Loving Me project. And I am so glad that he has given me this dream. This is something that I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So you're going to see me until the end of my time. And I am so grateful and happy that you guys have stuck around with me. We got so much in store. It is crazy. We are just, we are just doing everything that we can to make sure that we give you the value and the love and everything that you will need to take your life to the next level. So continue to stay connected with us. I do have a couple of interviews. I think I have one today that I'm going to do this evening. So I love you. I see you, and I'll see you this evening. All right. Bye. All right. And now we are live on Facebook, and I want to welcome you guys to another self-love conversation.